Chapter 6 The Crowd. The 27th of December, 2021. He wrote the following in my book. These are the names of the people you wanted to know about in my previous chapter: the crow, the bear, and the elephant. Each of them had a strong attribute. One had a knife, another had a bow, and the last one had a needle. What am I thinking? The intruder thought. Nothing, he voiced out. I wrote it down. If you can figure out the names of the warriors, they will be yours forever, he said. The intruder starts looking. At first glance, the intruder found out that the name of the Antichrist appears in the Wikipedia document. I decline the offer, the intruder thought. Very well, he said. Alhamdulillah, I said. The intruder also copied, then pasted the first section of chapter 5 to begin every chapter of my book so far. However, I removed it for violating the first principle of a diary, a day-by-day note-taking practice. He can never lie when he is in your head, he told me, so I wrote it down. Why do you believe what you have just written? He asked. Because I know that I'm not insane, I answered. 29th of December, 2021. The end of the year is approaching. I wake up early in the morning after seeing an indescribable dream, but I will try to put it in words. I was walking down the street with a woman. I do not know her name, I do not know her from real life, but she seemed nice and provided nice company. The fact of the matter is that my dream started when I was with my family. My father was there, in the second house, I remember, last floor with a nice terrace. He lives far away now, however, and he had been divorced from my mother more than 10 years ago. I also saw my mother sleeping next to him, on the floor, mind you, for we used to do that back when I was in high school. I somehow remember in this dream that I have an exam. So I pick up my bag and leave, looking back at my family again and again to make sure they are okay as I'm walking out the door. I approach the exam location, then I notice that I forgot my wallet. But it was too dark to get back home and too late. However, for some reason, I see my friends walking with otherworldly beings that I cannot comprehend. I could not see their faces or understand them properly. Some of them appeared to be male, and some appeared to me to be female. In fact, I didn't even comprehend what I called friends at the time, or see them clearly. All I know is that my female friends were walking with male beings from the crowd, and vice versa. They all looked the same. One of them walks by and says, "You should get yourself a female. We both are." So I started referring to those beings as female beings, and weirdly heed his advice, although I am married. We do not have to look for them far away. There we find three beings. Well, I cannot keep calling them beings now, can I? I ask. I will say friend. My friend was a nice-looking woman who had long hair and a beauty mark on her cheek. Weirdly, she looked so much like Yennefer of Vengerberg from The Witcher. She spoke fluent English and she kept referencing her family. I remembered then that I did not carry my wallet with me, and I pondered how I am going to pay her. Pay her for what, exactly? I ask, and then I answer myself, the friend is not a prostitute because your ex-friend said she is. Never mind the friend now. You kissed her twice, right? He asked. Yes, but it is too hazy to remember. If a friend kisses you, does that make them a prostitute? I ask myself and let it hang. In any event, having this friend with me weighed me down. We were climbing up a ramp leading towards my exam location, and I can feel her trying to slow my pace. And although I remember taking my bag with me, it was not on my back, so I did not have any pen. In other words, I decided to make a stop at the bookshop and get two pencils. Yet she paid. However, my pencil did not have its eraser on its back for some reason. Write things to keep and never regret past decisions, right? I reason with myself. We open a black door next to the bookshop, leading down a flight of stairs, and we exit the other side of the school. I notice that I'm late, so we kissed goodbye. She had a story to tell, I said. People she cared about in Asia, probably Taiwan. I tried to remember. A voice calls out to me saying that they have moved the exam room to what seems to be like a giant mosque, and the proctor was speaking on the phone in front of its entrance. How did you know that it was a mosque? I didn't at first, but I got frustrated when entered. What with all the hassle? I also only had two white folded papers, a pencil, and an ID document that I did not recognize at the time. I entered hastily, but I was pulled back and told to take my shoes off. Then I realized it could have been a mosque. So I take them off quickly and I notice I'm wearing bright colored socks. I liked them, I think back. I then enter a room with a bunch of people I thought I knew. They were all laying down on the ground with screens everywhere, tablets, iPhones, and laptops scattered around them. One of them calls out to me, laughing, and says, "Make sure to mark on a checklist all the math problems they ask in the test." I kept thinking of this comment while I started seeing flashes of the exam room that I have not yet entered. One of those flashes showed me people sitting on desks in rows that extend to infinity. The room had no beginning and no end. I did not enter the room and I only saw glimpses of it. I woke up after thinking about the guy's comment saying, "Math will not be a part of my exam."